Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our third episode of Crits and Cowards. It took me a little bit longer this time, as we will see here in the future. Some of this is stuff being done in retrospect, so not lots of new things, lots of different techniques we're trying out, and we sadly lost the audio on episode 3, which is a big bummer because some really cool things happened in episode 3, and I really wanted to tell you guys about them, so I asked some of my players to do a sort of in-character interview about some of the things that happened in that session. So one of the first big things that happened is our lovely pair of Solarians was reduced to solo with the leaving of the party of our dear friend Huckleberry. What were your feelings when Huckleberry said he wanted to leave the group and head home?
Good rat. I guess if I was a pussy, I'd do the same. But good rat though. I hope he's doing well. Hope he's enjoying the Wild West area and shooting a bunch of bad guys or whatever he's doing. He's probably not though, because he probably put up his gun and maybe picked up meditating. I don't know.
Those Solarians, you never know.
Never know. But that's just how I feel. I feel like he did good. He could have kept doing good. Well, he almost died like 3 times the last time we fought together. So hope he's doing good wherever he's at. That's how I feel. I feel like we got a good crew together still. So maybe we could do whatever our plan is. Maybe.
Yeah. Cut to Huckleberry's charred skeleton in the desert.
Oh, yeah. Universe be like that sometimes.
Well, Vernest, tell me, how did it feel to lose a team member in Huckleberry as he departed for home?
Well, we hadn't known each other for all that long, but he risked his life for us. He was a good friend, and he really did the most for us. He was very wise in his decision making. So losing him, I feel like we lost a pretty integral part of our group. We never really had an actual captain, all just interim captains, but I do think Huckleberry made one of the best. And so without him, I do think we have a lot of slack to pick up, I think.
And tell me how it feels like as a fellow Solarian, having to watch someone kind of give up on their hopes for adventure. How did that feel?
I think that was the hardest part of it all, actually. Seeing the actual spark in him quite literally dwindle and peter out. Very much felt like some of the other the black dwarf stars I've seen out in the cosmos and the galaxies. It's very, very sad to watch all his energy just leave him like that.
Yes, folks, you heard it here first. Huckleberry is no longer a member of the squad. He abandoned this life of adventure back to the safety and comforts of home. And can you blame him? He almost went down and out on their first fight. I have no issue with players changing characters, or modifying their builds partway through, but I think this was a much needed renovation for this player, and I think moving forward, he's going to have a lot more fun with the options that he chooses. Sad as it is that Huckleberry has to leave. Sadness aside, though, the crew decided that they could no longer stay on Akaton, where they had landed previously. Huckleberry and them parted ways, and they all left for the home planet of Froglin Mullet, a tiny moon called Sagoth 9. Frogland's home planet and home to many interesting characters. So, give us your first impressions flying down to Sagoth 9 for the first time in how many years?
Something like 60.
60 years. 60 years. Not too long for a Gripply, but what changes did you see?
We were getting down there, and they had a whole lot of concrete. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy myself a good bit of concrete here and there, but there's too much of it on that beautiful swamp planet. And let me tell you something. A good architect, right? A good architect, good engineer. They know how to work with the base material in the way that suits the base material or whatever the best. When you have a big old swamp, you don't just take a bunch of trees out, fill half it up with concrete, and say, "Oh, it looks good," right? No. There's ways to do it where it would look better. But either way, it looked a lot different. There was some puffy smokes coming out of things that weren't there before, and the people were all the same though. Let me tell you, they all still knew me coming around. Me and the mullet boys is what they called me, or something like that. Um, but yeah, people, it was something going back home. I mean, yeah, it was nice, I guess.
So, Vernest, tell me, what was your first thoughts about Sagoth 9?
Well, it's a very wet planet. Planet? I think it's a moon, actually. But had a very nice homey feel to it if you like the swamp. Me personally, I've never been into such a thick swamp like this before, but all the Gripplies there were very nice people, especially Mima, uh, Froglin, Grips's Mima. She's very nice. Yeah, I mean, Sagoth 9 was just a very dense planet. Not a whole lot going on, but all the swamps were well maintained for a swamp.
Well maintained for a swamp. Good to know. Was there anything different with the people who were on Sagoth 9 from the people that you've been dealing with up?
Well, all these organics kind of look the same to me still, so I have to say not really, but I do have to admire the Gripply's courageous hearts, the way they all unified together, and the way that very strong people, the Gripply.
Yeah. Upon returning home, Froglin sees that his home has been changed by Vesk influence, namely a new name that you'll hear quite often from now on, Baron Nargle, the current leader and ruler, planetary governor of this place. And Froglin only has one idea of where to go to stay safe away from Vesk and Abadar eyes alike. And that is Mima's house. Oh yeah, it's grandma time. You also reunited with an old family member of yours.
Oh yeah, Miss Meemaw. That's my grandma. She's a lovely lady, very old. Old as before time, as far as I'm concerned. She
Quite literally.
yes, she woke up or she woke up after the gap, like second one. Not even as a little baby Gripply, I don't think. But yeah, she's been around. She's been a while. She's pretty wise, I'd say. She can drink leech shine like fucking like what can I compare it to? Like I drink leech shine, and that's pretty crazy.
You
Yeah,
use it to get the barnacles off the leeches.
yeah, just about. just about. But yeah, she was good. She had traps. She was digging holes, keeping the whole district of Swamp 7 together. Yeah, she was I mean, I don't blame her. She was there for the first gas wars, but she's a little nervous about all this stuff going on now. The Vesk were suppressing our people and all that good stuff, but people come around. But she did let some fucking cat move into my workshop for a while and play the recorder really shittily.
Yeah, will you tell us a little bit about who you met there in your workshop?
Yeah, I walked in, this guy's just sitting there, you're all over my fucking beer cans and shit. And yeah, I mean, Meemaw said he helped clear out what are they called? What are they called? Some gang. He put some working
Green
on them.
Jaw.
Yeah, the green jaws, probably the fake ones though, because the green jaws are pretty chill. But the ones who are posing as green jaws, not so chill. So probably some of that. He was pretty helpful with the sword, I'll tell you that much. I mean, he definitely came in handy. But yeah, it was one of those things where you meet a guy and sometimes you can see right through their little soul of theirs, and he was fine. He was good to be around.
How did you feel meeting Mima on Sagoth 9?
Oh, Mima was just the best. So welcoming. No questions even needed. She just welcomed us with open arms as if we were, well, Grips himself. And I think that was very, very well met. I think Mima was a crucial asset to us succeeding in Sagoth 9, and we couldn't have done any of this without her. Whether it's the little things or even the bigger ones.
Vernest, tell me what your first thoughts of Tonke were when you guys first met in Mima's shack.
Well, very similar experience as with Huckleberry. You notice how we noticed how he lost his spark, but in the exact same way, I think Tonke had an even larger, I don't want to say violent, but a more, like a stoked fire burning inside of him. His connection to the, what do you want to call it, the Solarian powers, like the cosmos, the balance between photon and graviton, although I didn't sense any of the gravity in him, mostly just the fire that burns inside of him. And because of that, I think he was incredibly the power, the way in which he wielded his solar powers and manifested into that cool sword. And he moved so fast. No, Tonke was awesome.
Yeah, and how has it been with Tonke and your party so far?
Well, he's pretty quiet, but a lot of our party members are quiet except for Grips, really. So I don't think that was much of a problem. Same idea. He's very quick decision maker, and he's very. I don't want to say I don't know about trustworthy yet because we haven't been with him all that long, but I do think he makes a very good addition to our party. He helps round out our party here, especially with the hole that Huckleberry had left.
That's right, folks. Not shortly after Huckleberry left the party, the player reintroduced himself as Tonke. He is a Patra, the cat-like people from the Vesk star system, and a Solarian as well. He's going to be stepping in and taking over this new character, taking up the missing role of Huckleberry. And I'm sure he's going to be having a lot more fun with some new character options and some a different mindset going into it. Now, the next big development on Sagoth 9 was the discussion of something they had heard rumors about as they were getting to Mima's house. Something that had fallen from the stars a few decades ago and landed out in the wilds of Sagoth 9. and they were all fairly curious about what this thing might be, and so they went off to go and take a gander for themselves.
Well, you see, me as being a mechanic of sorts, yeah, we needed a ship, and I've heard tales of this thing called an Oma. You know, pretty badass ships, if you ask me. And luckily enough, I remember 60 years ago, before I even heard the rumors of the ships, some big ass thing came crashing into my beautiful swamp. Hasn't really been luckily no one touched it. So yeah.
Well, that's because it was awfully close to
Oh
a certain
yes.
monument that is on Sagoth 9.
What is it? The pyramid of certain death or something like that?
Yep, that's it.
Yep.
You got it.
Yeah, most people do steer clear of that. I don't know why, it's not like it's deadly. We'll check it out one of these days, but um yeah, so we found this whale ship, or the whale carcass, to turn into a ship, and that makes me pretty excited. Looks like we're gonna have to bonk some fucking heads before we go in there, though.
Hey, when you're living in the wilderness, when you're living like a Gripply, muddy little feet in the swamp, you're not thinking like Froglin engineer, you know what I'm saying?
I guess so. Yes, so. And that's exactly how we got conquered in the first place. Let me tell you something. People weren't thinking ahead; they were thinking about, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyways.
Right, right.
Right. We'll change that though.
Yes, indeed. As the players go out into the swampy marshes to find what has been told of a starfall happening not too many decades ago, they come across an Oma carcass, or a giant space whale, and Froglin here intends to use it as the basis of their new ship. But there's a little bit of resistance, some bandits hanging around the area, and that is where we're going to pick up in our very next episode. So I hope you all had a good time watching and listening. And I hope that, actually, Vernest here says he has one more thing to say. As we get on to the next episode, anything else you want to say or comment on?
That the people of Sagoth 9 should be free from the Vesk. And fuck Baron Nurgle.
Hell, yeah.
That guy's
Love to hear it.
That guy's neutrinos are way off, let me tell you.
Guys, neutrinos are way off.